Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. Today, well, we're continuing on to our path to become a warrior, and it's going to be post-commentary today because during the live commentary I was coughing so much that, well, it would just be way too much to edit that voice stuff, and you know what, I think this series actually deserves to be more spoken over in post-commentary rather than live commentary. So, we start off today with the quest from Slakeborn, or whatever his name is. My preview window is kind of small, so it's hard to see his name. But whatever it is, we can receive some stuff for his quest and just accept it already. That is one thing about this post-commentary. I can't read anything on the screen because this preview window is really, really small. So, if anything is going on, I don't really know what it is. Alright, so we got the quest. I believe we need to get better gear. Now, to do that, we're going to need some money. Now, if you're playing this for the first time and you don't know anybody or anything like that, you know, the fates are probably a pretty good way to get money. I can't remember how I did it the first time actually by myself. It was quite a thing, I remember that. But to get all the gear you're going to need, really, if you have anyone you know that plays this game, I would highly recommend asking them for just a little bit, because anyone high leveled should have plenty of gil and you will be able to pay them back before too long, because that's all the gear and we need all of it to be at least item level 5. So, whoa, what the heck was that? I must have pressed the PlayStation button there. So we're going to get into contact with my free company, which is like a guild in any other game. Fate Sealed. So we're, well, I mean, I might as well read you guys our company statement. That's not exactly what it's called, but it's close. It's close. So we're a pretty long-running free company actually in the Fairy server. We've been we were formed in like September, I think. It was before I joined on. I came on like in December as Natsuki, and you know, our mission statement needs a little bit of updating. Just throwing that out there. So our leader is TikTok, Tiktok. That's her first and then last name. No, it's not a Kesha reference, even though she decided to just roll with that, and then she, you know, did a thing. Her provoke is something silly. Anyway, that's not important though. What is important is that we're LGBT friendly, and you know, friendly just all around, I'd say. A little dirty sometimes, but if you don't like that kind of thing, you know, you can just ask us not to do that. We can be civil. The main raid group has downed up to, from what I've heard, they've almost down turned 7 of the binding coil. So there's that. Their main raid group doesn't have any room though, but our second raid group is forming, so if anyone has any high levels that want to join on, feel free to message her or one of the officers, which is not me. And in fact, the only officer I can think of is Kryptonite. Oh, I did message Igor at one point, I think, so he's also one of our officers. I think he was in a dungeon at the time there or something. But yeah, so that's our free company pretty much in a very, very, very short nutshell. One day I might do like a promo vid when I actually have some thoughts gathered and maybe a script written and good interview tech, you know, all sorts of interesting ideas floating around in my head. But until that time, you know, I'm gonna ask our fearless leader for a little bit of money. But first, I'm testing her knowledge to see if she knows who I am. The answer is no, not really. Though I couldn't expect her to when you know, I never told her about my alt. So, but we have become a member of the free company, or at least we're in the process of doing so, and she's gonna send us a little bit of money that I paid her back on with my main character, so it was all good. As I said though, that guild can be obtained probably the most easily through fates or some quests, I guess, or you could beg people, I don't know. But yeah, there's not really an easy way to get the amount of gil you need to get all this equipment. Only other thing I could think of is that some of the quests give you the equipment, but there's not a whole lot of those, unless there's like a guide somewhere out there that I could have used. But that'll be the only time we borrow money, or at least I'm going to try to make that the only time we borrow money from anybody, to keep this as true a playthrough as possible. And that would be the free company invite. I recognize that sound anywhere. Also a tutorial popped up about free companies. Don't really need that. As I said, it's just like a group of people who do things together sometimes. It's not really that difficult a concept, I think. Yeah. So we're gonna receive this money at some point, and then I can buy all this gear, equip it, and we can actually move on with the quest. Until then, feel free to watch me stare at this Moogle for a bit. Yep. This is exciting. Should have cut this. But I mainly did this post narration because I was too lazy to edit the live narration where I coughed pretty much the whole time. So this was a 2-hour recording. Not going to be able to do all 2 hours in one sitting, and in fact I can barely keep awake enough to do 20 minutes. So if you notice a weird break in the audio, like recording at some point, that's why. I mean, there's not really a whole lot to talk about right now because we're level 6 at this moment in the video, and spoilers, we level up. But there's quite a few story quests we need to get done, especially if we want to get up until the point where things get actually pretty interesting and we can go into dungeons and instances and stuff. Something I never actually did when I played World of Warcraft, and I did so until I was like a level 74 enhancement shaman, which was probably pretty uselessly spec'd. Excuse me. And I never entered a dungeon or a battleground even once in that game. Pretty much because it wasn't required, and I barely even realized they existed in the first place. Had I known what I know now, like if I tried to go back into that game just out of curiosity for the most part, you know, I'd definitely try the dungeons and see how that work, because they actually seem pretty interesting in the higher levels and stuff, just like this game. Well, I mean, some of these dungeons look pretty nice. Don't get me wrong, like Lost City of Amdapor looks amazing, but they're all pretty easy if you know what you're doing. Though I guess that could be said about almost anything in an MMO if you really think about it. But I mean, this game, the dungeons are not challenging at all, except like the first time you run through it and don't know what's going on. when patch 2.3 came out, for instance, I did a bunch of blind runs with a group where our leader was nice enough to, well, nice enough, I don't know if that's the correct phrase, but he kept the rest of us in the dark, basically, about the dungeon, so we could experience the bosses for the first time on our own. Granted, most of them didn't have very interesting mechanics except for the second boss of Stone Vigil, which we'll get to at some point, but he's as interesting as he should be. He's pretty freaking boring. But as I said, we'll get to him when we get to him. The second boss of the normal Stone Vigil is more interesting, honestly, in my opinion. Doing a bunch of tutorials, and I actually just realized at this point that there was a ton of mail that you get for having the collector's edition and having what's it called? Having a bunch of playtime, like subscription time to be exact. Few of these are like mounts and minions and stuff, and they're all very interesting and all, but at the end of the day, none of them are actually that useful. The only useful thing is that if you got this game when it first came out, you get a Moogle cap, which you can wear up until level 10, and it gives you a 10% experience boost. And the same thing with the Helm of Light, but to get the Helm of Light, I think it's a collector's edition item. Collector's edition for this game is actually not that bad. It's only a $19.99 to upgrade it from the original, and you can do that digitally. So they make it pretty easy and not too expensive. I believe after we finish that, we're now using all the minions and stuff. This isn't important at all, but you know, since I'm doing it, I might as well speak about it. Minions are, you know, cute little creatures that follow you around but don't do much besides that. The only thing that really fights are either pets, which is an Arcanist / Summoner / Scholar thing, so that won't apply to us for a little bit. Though I will be going into Arcanist soon enough because we need to get Physic before a certain point. But we also have something else, which is come on, brain, think. The companion, yeah, the Chocobo. We'll talk about him when we hit level 20 and reach the amount of Grand Company seals that we're going to need for that. Which will take a while because before you hit level 50, there's not really a great way to achieve a ton of Grand Company seals besides doing the Grand Company loves, and you don't actually get that many seals from those. You do get a bunch from Fates though, so if you do a ton of Fates, then that's one way to do it. But easily the best way to get Grand Company seals is when you're level 50, to trade in the Darklight, or even better, the level 80 gear out of the newest dungeons, or the Darklight gear from the 2.2 dungeons. So that's the best way to get those. And now we can finally afford that level 5 gear that we need to equip, because all of the gear for your head, chest, arms, and legs needs to be at least item level 5 to progress with the game. He won't like accept anything less. And I was confused for a while standing near him because I kept reading the quest over and over, until I realized that even though the Helm of Light requires you to be level 10 to wear it, it's an item level 1, so it actually doesn't count. Or no, it's the other way around. It's an item level 10, but because you have a level 1 requirement, it screws up the text of, or it screws up the specs of the quest. It needs to be level 5, not item level 5. It's very confusing. But, or at least it confused me for quite a while. We're just going through our different armory chests and making sure we have all the right gear. At one point, I think I noticed that there was one piece of gear, I think maybe it was the boots, that I actually had the level 5 of already. Or no, I think it was the pants. No, not the pants. No, I think it was the boots. The waist isn't a requirement because to wear the belt you have to be at least level 8. So, once you've gotten all your stuff equipped, you can run back up to see Slifeborn, or whatever the crap his name is, and, well, as soon as I look at our free company's stuff, we'll talk about the free company more in depth at another time entirely, because that's not actually important to this series at all, to be honest. But yeah, we got some nifty new gear and nifty new look, so wait till you see our full warrior set. It's pretty crazy. And then this is when I'm confused about the level 5 thing that I just explained, until I realize that the helmet is level 5. So once you talk to him again, you can accept the quest and then put your helmet right back on. So it's not really a big deal. Excuse me. And once we've done that, we can finally start our quest about something. I don't want to say something about a quest that happens later when it's not this quest. Once I see what our actions are, I can talk more about which quest we're doing. Actually, isn't this one the, no, I'm not entirely sure. I'm not gonna sit here and spoil a whole quest that we're not even doing, so we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna wait until I finish getting through all this stuff, and we've accepted the quest. Which is to hop down here, I guess. Take a little bit of fall damage. It's all good. Don't know why I went back to the merchant. Oh, well, we re-equipped our helmet of light. That's good. Heading out into the field. I'm just trying to figure out why. There's the minion roulette. Minion roulette is, you know, a way to cycle through your minions. If you don't have a specific minion you want out, then you can just hit that and the game will choose one for you. Same with the mount roulette. Thing with the mounts, unlike World of Warcraft, is that they all move at exactly the same speed and none of them fly. At least not as of this moment. If one day they add flying mounts, I would actually be pretty grateful, because there are certain areas where it just takes way too long to get around anywhere. Oh, this is the one where we gotta, okay. So, I take a minute like a minute of a break from the quest, because these bogies are actually something we need for our hunting club, so I decided to kill them for the bonus experience. They have a little, you know, point blank AoE circular doohickey, so make sure to dodge that anytime they do it, but they go down relatively easy. The only problem I had was that because they're a level 6 or 7 enemy, and I was level 5 I think at the time, I thought I was level 6, but apparently I was level 5. you miss sometimes if you're not the right level. So it can be kind of annoying. And I haven't missed in a long time because I've been playing this melee, this really high level melee the whole time. So missing doesn't ever happen because I have 532 accuracy. If you know this game at all, you'll know that 532 accuracy is actually pretty ridiculous and too much. But I'll be fixing that problem soon enough by making my Novus with a bit less accuracy but a bit more firepower. Yep. We'll probably talk about Novus, but I really don't feel like doing all the Animus books for this character. I'll show like how to get excuse me. I'll show how to get all these weapons, but I'm probably going to go with the easier weapons to receive in this game from other sources, because a second relic weapon would just drain my soul. To give an idea, the Atma crystals I got for my Dragoon Spear took like a week to do, and then took me like a month and a half to do all 9 of the books to make it an Animus, and now I've just started Novus, which I've learned will take, well, it's gonna take a little while, but it's hard to say how long because of how it works. But, you know, I'll talk about it when we have at least the Zenith weapon, and I'll talk about how you can upgrade it, and maybe demonstrate a little bit, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to gather all the Atma crystals and then do all the Animus books and shoot myself in the face. So, this thing describes how instances work. They're pretty simple, you know. They'll sync your level if you're too high, and when you enter them, you are alone, and you also can't bring a party with you, which is probably for the best, because if I just like...
I am the waves that bear.
Oh.
I am
Well,
the winds
I should
that
stop
glide.
the audio here then.
I am the evening stars. I am the morning sky. I am born of the sea, and there shall I die. Thus reads the sailor's requiem, carved into yonder stone. Such words well describe the manner in which the citizens of Limsa Lominsa live their lives. It is both a litany against misfortune for those out on the waves, and a prayer that the souls of those who perish on land might find their way back to the sea. Ah, you are the adventurer I've seen around Summerford Farms. I thought myself on the trail of the kidnappers, but it would seem I have missed my mark. Or perhaps not. As I suspected, the etheric disturbance here is no natural occurrence. Nor is it a coincidence that the two of us should come here in search of those responsible for the disappearances, only to be attacked. But who stands to benefit from the keeping of this secret? Oh, such thoughts must wait. Let us attend to the task at hand, unpleasant though it be.
Alright, and after that cutscene, now we get to fight our first instance guy. He's almost like a boss, but not really quite an accurate description. But I do say so myself, but he's a Gubu, or Gabu, or something like that. Anyway, so occasionally ads will spawn, I think, but until then, you know, we're just gonna keep smacking him with our axe, but clearly we're not the one doing any of the damage. The Conjurer lady, whose name has not yet been revealed, but she does have voice acting, and her voice is actually pretty nice. I think I like her the best of the people that were, you know, it'll make more sense later. So anyway, yeah, she says something at that point about ads coming in, and now there are bogeys, and we gotta kill them. Not too difficult. Just use our usual, our combo that I don't remember either of the names of. The second attack is Skull Slender. The first one, I can't read. I think it's like, no, it's not Heavy Swing. Heavy Swing is a friggin' dragon attack. So, I don't remember. But whatever it is, we use that, and then Skull Slender, and occasionally use Fracture. Even though Fracture is pretty worthless at this point. And we won't really have any more useful attacks for a while. That's okay. In fact, we're pretty close to a level, I think. Yep, there it is. We just leveled up. And we actually learned something, but I can't really like reassign things in the middle of battle. So we'll have to worry about that a bit later. Or did we? I thought I could be mistaken. No, I see it right there. It's might as well talk about it because we're about to kill the Gobu, and actually I think the end of the instance triggers another voiced cutscene. If it does, I'll just be quiet.
Phew. Hear, feel, think. Crystal Bearer. I am Heidelin, all made one. A light there once was that shone throughout this realm, yet it hath since grown dim. And as it hath faltered, so hath darkness risen up in its stead, presaging an end to life. For the sake of all, I beseech thee, deliver us from this fate. The power to banish the darkness dwelleth in the crystals of light. Journey forth and lay claim to them. By thy deeds shall the crystals reveal themselves to thee. Only believe.
light liveth in thy heart. And shine thy light on all creation.
Awake again, are we? Aha! The poor creature's fury was kindled with cruel forethought. See this blade? I found it in the Gubu's back. I have seen knives of this kind before. They are most commonly used for the cutting of rope. It would appear our culprits are seafaring men of some persuasion, piratical being the most probable. In any event, you seem much recovered from your sudden affliction. I confess, I was rather taken aback when you collapsed at the very moment of our victory. Mayhap a surfeit of ether? I beg your pardon. A towering crystal. I'm sure I don't... Oh! Well, well. This has been a day of unexpected revelations. I must continue my investigation. In the meantime, I suggest you deliver this knife to your patron, along with a warning concerning the pirate's probable involvement in this murky business. The days ahead promise little rest, I fear. May our paths cross again, under the light of the crystal.
Alright, so quite a bit happened in that cutscene. We met Heidelin, who obviously was the thing that spoke to us at the very beginning of the game, that said hear, feel, think, and we were warrior and awesome and item level 90, and it was great. But, you know, she's pretty important in the main story, but yeah, so she's the, like, the main crystal. Like, I don't really have any good way to explain this, to be quite honest. But anyway, so the thing we got was, wait, didn't we have foresight before? I'm not entirely sure anymore. I'm actually not entirely convinced that we didn't already have that. But we decided to join a faith here for some reason. I guess I need a little bit of extra experience, and the guy was already working on it for his Atma, I think. So we're just gonna kill some Mandragora here. It's pretty simple fate. It's just like the other fate that we did before. The one where we had to kill the sheep or something. So, really not too difficult. No, we did the one with the toads. The one with the sheep is something I did for the Atma. Which, you know, those Atma, they'll be a thing I'll explain, but probably not do, because it's really not worth it to me. At least, you know, not for an alt character anyway. Like, I did the Animus book, and I'm in the middle of doing Novus for my spear, my Dragoon spear, with my main character. Don't want to do all that for my alt, but I will explain. So anyway, We'll worry about that much later, though. We will at least get a Zenith relic, though, because you kind of need that to be able to clear any of the, like, extreme primals and stuff to get the better weapon. But, well, most of them are better, but the Dragoon Spear is actually better with Zenith, interestingly enough. So we're just looking through our logs for some reason, or the main menu. I'm not sure why, but it's something we're doing. I also have to hold the mic up because my stand keeps tilting downwards, but that's okay. That's okay. Probably hear the air conditioner in the back, just feel free to ignore that. Yep. But we're heading back to Slaveborn with the knife that, What's-Her-Face gave us, who we still don't know the name of. And for some reason I'm looking at our helmet. I know I didn't hit level 10, so don't know why we're doing that. Alright. Well, we delivered the knife. He says something about, the pirates are the ones behind this. And he sends us on a new quest. A quest to talk to his 5 sea hands or something. And interrogate them, basically. Oh, but that all happens in this cutscene here, so feel free to read the text if I'm scrolling through it too fast. Well, you know, there's the pause button. That was dumb of me. Why did I do that? Just playing around with the microphone's snappy thingy. Don't mind that. Don't mind lots of things that are going on in the background. Just concentrate on my voice. Ooh. Okay. Also turned up the microphone volume a little bit from the last 2 takes, so hopefully this level is pretty good to be able to hear me and stuff. Lots of cutscenes going on here. Or, well, dialogue at least, not really cutscenes. We can also earn some potions or some ethers. Potions and ethers do pretty much the same thing they do in any normal Final Fantasy game. If you guys have never played Final Fantasy, potions restore HP and ethers restore MP. And there are different levels of potions, like high potions and mega potions and X potions and elixirs, which heal both. So, yeah. And same thing with the ethers. High ethers, mega ethers, etc., etc. There are also potions that raise certain stats, but those are far and few between, I find. And you can buy them off the market board because, like, really high-level alchemists can make them. But good luck with that because those things are pretty expensive. Anyway, we're gonna go down here. Now, each of the people you talk to, you get a choice of what to say to them. I don't think either way matters. And it doesn't, like, affect the quest or any of the rewards you can get or anything like that, to my knowledge. So, just answer whatever you'd like, and they'll answer back with, whatever appropriate response, I suppose. That was the first guy, though. He was by the wagon, unless we talked to that one lady that's behind the building earlier. I kind of missed that. Trying to position this thing on my knee so I can take a drink. Second guy, or third guy, or whichever guy is over here by this wall. Yeah, no, that was like the third guy. Because the fourth and last guy is... no, he's not the last. But the fourth guy is out here, and he's actually kind of annoying to get to. Whatever you do, don't jump in this river after you talk to this fourth guy. Excuse me. So, the reason you don't jump in the river is because the fifth and last guy is, over by... right there. He's right there, and you just cannot jump up there. It's really aggravating, actually. So I had to circle all the way back around and up the stupid ramps, and it was a pain in the neck, let me tell you. But once we do that, we can finally talk to this guy, who I'm pretty sure is the last guy we needed to talk to, but I'm suddenly unconvinced of this in my head. It's been a while, and it's really, really hard to read text on this tiny, itty-bitty little preview window. Seriously, is there a way to zoom in on this? I've tried like everything I can think of, but nothing seems to work. Why they give you such a small preview window when the window could obviously be much bigger on Roxio? Couldn't tell ya. Could not tell you. Whoops. Okay, well, there's that. And right-clicking on it doesn't seem to do anything, so meh. Oh, that was the fifth guy. He was standing by that rock. He says something, I think, like, that's foreboding or something, and then you return to Sifeborn. It's the end of the quest. It's not a very particularly difficult quest, but I think we get something nice out of it, so there's that. Just head right back up this ramp here. Yep. Up the ramp. Okay, here we go. There's also another guy with a main quest symbol above his head. That confused me, and it still continues to confuse me now, because I'm not entirely sure what this guy has to do with the main story. But, oh, we just... I'm not entirely sure what just happened. We got something, and then there was a tutorial for it. Oh, it was the achievements. Okay, so just like in Xbox or really PS4 games too, with their trophies, you can get certain achievements in this game that allow you to, you know, get things like some titles or items. If you get any items from doing achievements, they can be found with someone in any of the main towns, I think, but the only one I know of how to access is in New Gridania. So I'll show him off whenever we can reach that place, because Limsa is kind of in an interesting location. It's by itself on an island, and there's no way to get to any of the other places from Lenosha. So you have to, what is it? You have to do a thing. Complete the main story up to the level 15 quest, and then you get the option to ride away on an airship. Now we're gonna do this guy's quest because the flame symbol is on his exclamation mark thing, but again, I'm not really sure what this had to do with the main quest. Like, afterwards you deliver some crate or something to somebody, but we're gonna do this quest on the way to the other main quest, which is to confront that last guy that we spoke to from the last quest, if that made any sense. Anyway, with this quest, it's very simple. You go and you kill some of the wild mandragoras wandering around the field, and then eventually, you know, you're done. You just gotta kill like 4 or 5 of them, I think. Not too difficult. I'm really not sure what this had to do with the main story. I'm assuming that that was a bug of some kind. I'm not entirely sure. But regardless, we're gonna kill them because you can get some good money out of it, I think. Not too bad. Just gonna continue going. Okay, just in case I didn't mention Foresight before, I will now, because I'm pretty sure you learn it in Foresight, but it's kind of hard to remember that. So Foresight is what we call a cooldown. It's some kind of an ability that grants you a buff, and this particular buff, allows you to, well, it gives you more defense when you activate it for like 20 seconds, I want to say. It's definitely really good for tanks because, you know, decreasing any of the incoming damage you're taking, generally a good idea, especially against bosses. So we're gonna run all the way over here and eventually find that one dude. Through the river and over the woods. Or something of that nature. Coming up on an hour. And he should be... Oh no, those are wild dodos. My eyeball is also like starting to go out, so that's not helping matters. He's right here, in the middle of the fork on the road. He's gonna tell you... Why did I stop? Talk to him. Oh, I was rearranging some things in my hotbar for some reason. Okay. No, I was testing to see if I could mount yet. The answer is no. Because we did receive some mounts from the Moogle letterbox, but you're not allowed to ride them until I think you can ride your Chocobo, but I'm not entirely sure about that. Anyway, this purple zone indicates that enemies will spawn when you walk into it. And here they are. So you gotta kill these 3 goblins. Not really terribly difficult. They do have a targeted AoE that's called Bomb Toss. Probably don't want to be standing in them when they disappear and then explode. So don't do that. Just avoid their AoEs, run behind them occasionally, swing your axe, and they'll die before too long. Or, you know, use your Topaz Carbuncle if you're using that. Or actually, you wouldn't have Topaz yet, so Emerald. Topaz Carbuncle would be amazing in a lot of these places, but, you know, I'm the tank, so I don't really need another tank, unless, you know, we were fighting one of the 8-man raid bosses. But we're not doing that. Anyway, these guys thank us for rescuing them from the evil goblins, and the purple circle goes away. I think that circle actually had a weird sound effect because I was hearing some weird like whooshing noises in my headphone or my headset here. Anyway, he thanks you for helping him out of this jam or something, and you get to go and return to Sliceborn, I think. Again, all of this was done, well, not again, because I'm actually recording this 2 days after the first take I did, which was basically from the beginning of the video to about the 22-minute mark when that first cutscene happened. So, and I'm thinking I'm gonna have to leave the next episode until tomorrow because I'm getting seriously tired here. This is the map of Lower Lenosha, I think is where we are. No, we're in Middle Lenosha, aren't we? I have no idea. Either way, oh, that sound indicates a tell. We just got a message from someone known as a gill seller. Gill sellers are fun because they spam you constantly with messages about buying gill with real money. Don't do that. It's illegal. And just add them to your blacklist. I've actually added enough gill sellers to my blacklist to fill up the 200 limit. So I have always believed that blacklists should just be unlimited, but I guess that would be too much of a strain on the data or something. And I just decided to save a bit of a trip and teleport back to Summerford Farms because honestly it was just so much easier to do it that way. So let's turn in these couple of quests, gain our rewards like money and experience, and yeah, I'd say we're pretty close to the end of this episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. Join me next time when we might find out about about these kidnappers and exactly what his fourth matey is up to. And also, we leveled up! Yay! Until then, later, guys.